Dear students, as a part of the video lectures for all of you, in the BCom first semester business organization subject, we have already entered into the second unit, and in that we are already had a lot of content regarding the partnership form of business organization. Today we will go for learning about the rights and obligations of the partners. See, here we have to be kept in mind that all these rights and obligations of the partners have been mentioned here, keeping in view of the actual partner or the general partner. So in that particular general partner category, what are the various rights and obligations of the partners do exist normally as per the partnership deed which have been written by all of the partners at the time of forming the partnership. Now we will go for a brief way of describing each of the rights here mentioned. We have nearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rights mentioned here, and all these rights are subject to the applicability as per the partnership deed, which is an agreement between and among the partners of the business organization. Today we will go for learning of these rights one by one. First one is the right to participate. Here, what is mean actually the right to participate? Every partner is having a right to take part in the conduct of the various activities of the partnership firm, maybe business activities or managerial activities. Apart from that, every partner has having equal right to conduct the activities of the business also on a daily basis or from time to time, as per their will, as per their whims and fancies and the agreement between and among the partners. So no other partner can force the one partner that you cannot participate. It is equal to all. Anybody, any partner in the business is having a right to participate in the conduct of the business activities of the partnership firm. So this is a right given to the partner under the Partnership Act also, as well as per the partnership deed which is written by the partners at the time of formation of the partnership. The second one is the right to the expression of opinion. Oh, this is a very important topic. Every partner is having a right to consult the other partners or get consulted by the other partners on such matters which are related to the execution of the actions and activities in the business firm which is run under the partnership form of business organization. So when once there is a freedom to express and freedom to interact and discuss between and among the partners, naturally sometimes any partner can express any opinion regarding the perfection of the actions and activities, regarding the adjustments to be made in the business actions and activities, or regarding the welfare of the partnership firm of the business organization. So taking those things into account, every partner is having an expression, a right to have an expression of his or her opinion as a member of the partnership firm or a member of the partnership. The third one is a right to have the access to accounts. Here, every partner is having an equal right to look into the books of accounts maintained by the organization, copy the books of accounts as and when there is a need for any partner to copy it and record it, or having an expression, having a right to check the accounts also as and when there is a need for any partner to go into details of the accounts being maintained by the partnership firm. So no other partner can restrict a partner not to venture into or not to see into the verification of the books of accounts of the organization. Henceforth, every partner is having equal right to access the books of accounts of the organization. The next one is right to have equal share in profits. Right. Here already we have defined in the partnership definition, two or more people who have agreed to share the profits and losses either in the capital ratio or in the agreed ratio. Like that we have mentioned in the definition. So here every partner is having equal share in the profits. Otherwise, if there is a specific mentioning of sharing of profits and losses in the partnership deed or as per the capital provided by the partners at the time of venturing into the partnership, as per that every partner is having a right to have the profits as per the decision taken by the partnership firm by writing the partnership deed for the distribution of the profits or sharing of the profits and losses. Next one is every partner is having a right to avail the interest on capital or the loans or the advances or short-term credits provided to the partnership firm on behalf of the partner. Means, for example, a partner has contributed 10,000 rupees as a share of his and towards the partnership. At the end of the particular period of time when the profits have been profits and losses have been ascertained, at the time it is mentioned here to have the interest on capital. Anybody can request for or can claim for the interest on the capital which is provided by the partners, or the loans given from time to time, or the advances given to the organization for the normal conduct of the business activities apart from the capital provided by the partner. Henceforth, every person is having a right to earn interest on the capital, earn interest on the loans provided, earn interest on the advances taken or given. Right? Next one, right to be indemnified for the expenses for losses. Apart from that, this is also another one. As and when a person is sharing profits, it is a customary practice to have an obligation on the part of a partner to have responsible and accountable for the expenses and losses conducted during the course of the functioning of the business. But here, what it should be mentioned or kept in mind is that if such expenses and losses do arise in the case of managing the business organization, here no personal losses, no losses arising out of purely the personal aspect of a partner, that should not be considered here. Only the business expenses and the business losses, that should be considered here, and every partner is having a right to get it indemnified by him or her during the course of their membership in the partnership. Next one, there is a right to continue in the firm. However, this is a very important thing. A person cannot be forced in the partnership firm to go out of the partnership firm, because if it is with no reason, no partner can be compensated. For example, as per the partnership deed, if something has been written like the unethical practices of a partner cannot be forgotten or cannot be forgiven by the for partnership firm. If such a thing is mentioned in the partnership deed, and if a partner has conducted some unethical practices in the partnership firm, then he or she may be get expelled from the partnership. There, the right to continue in the firm does not exceed, does not prevail. But apart from that, normally no partner can be suffocated, no partner can be compensated to go out of the partnership firm until and unless it is against the interest of the partnership organization, and as it is also mentioned in the constitution of the partnership firm. What is that? The partnership deed, that is the constitution of the partnership firm. So according to that, if something is there, then only a person can be compensated to go out of the partnership firm. Otherwise, in normal cases, continuation in the partnership firm is the right of a partner, and nobody can expel him or her or compensate him or her to go out of the partnership firm. The last one is the right to retire as per the partnership. See, I have already explained at the initial stages of the partnership features or characteristics that a partnership deed stands considered in the case of particular situation, that is in the case of admission of a partner into the already existing partnership form. Then there is a need to have some obligations apart from writing a fresh partnership deed. Means the earlier partnership is dissolved and a new partnership is evolved. In the case of retirement also, the partnership deed is cancelled and the partnership form is dissolved and another one is formulated. Or the death of a partner. This is also a situation. So in these cases, when there is a right on the part of the partner, a partner can decide whether that fellow can continue in the firm or cannot continue from, can retire or cannot retire, right? So the retirement of a partner is entirely vested with the partner only as a right, and no other person can ask the partner to not to enter into the organization. So here there is a right on the part of the partner to either to retire or to continue, right? So I think you have gone through all these things and understood. If you do have any doubts, we will go for clarification in the next class by communicating from your side to me. Thank you very much.